Hello Team Absolution fans. Before we get started with this video, I just want to give a shout out to our sponsor, the Magic Satchel. If you need cards, singles, case splits, playset splits, whatever you need in terms of Vanguard, Premium, or Standard, make sure you reach out to our sponsor, the Magic Satchel, for all your needs, including sleeves and mats as well, deck boxes too. Of course, you can find him on TCG Player, eBay, and as well as his email, themagicsatchelstore@gmail.com. Of course, that'll be up where you see right now on your screen. It'll also be in a link in the description. As always, we want to thank him for everything he does for us. So give him all your love and support when you need your Vanguard stuff. And now, back to the video.
Hey Team Absolution fans, bringing you another video today. We are going to talk about the top 5 VRs. Get ready. Stick around.
Original content.
Alright guys, we're talking about the top 5 VRs today. Sitting behind here, we've been hashing it out for a while now, actually. Trying to figure out.
Behind here, this place is...
It's
a little cramped.
Well, we got Misaki to keep us company though.
I don't know, Wolf.
Kamui's down there too, but we won't talk about that.
Kind of two-dimensional, my guy.
Aren't they all?
Oof.
Alright, that being said, so first things first with these VRs, we are only going to talk about through the latest release of the TCG. So before you're on the comments talking about some VR that comes out, like before we talk about Dote, it's not out here yet. Alright, we're talking through the TCG's latest release, which was the Bermuda trial deck, which technically doesn't have a VR. So through the latest set, which was
AL4.
AL4.
Part 2.
Including deleters.
Including... Well, he's in their high school too, so...
That's true. So these are in no particular order. So
As always with
our top 5s, if you've seen them in the past, these are just the best 5 we can think of.
In our opinion. Disclaimer.
Rex,
our opinion.
Braxton's already like getting concerned. He's like, Alright. So we're gonna start with.
Thank you.
The obvious choice for top 5, in my opinion, has to go to the only one keeping his clan alive at this time.
And well.
And
breathing.
Well is a very questionable statement, but it's alive, is Draconic Waterfall.
The clan.
The boy himself. What do you think about Draconic Overlord, man? Or Draconic Waterfall?
I mean, it's
Wrong format.
it's a card that's easily become its own verb. You say you got waterfalled, everybody knows what you mean.
I know what happens.
It means that you slapped a blue boy down and then you couldn't guard for 70k. Sorry about that. No, it steals games. It can happen at pretty much any point if your opponent's unprepared for it. Obviously they go through their Draconic Overlord ride, and then you just get blown out.
Sometimes there's not even a second Overlord.
Sometimes you don't get that luxury. But no, you just get blown out of the game really quickly, and it's to this day you can still get absolutely bopped out of nowhere by a Kagero player.
What do you think? Given as our Kagero player in the bar, what do you think makes it deserving of the top 5 spot?
One, it just so happened to be put in a frickin' Force Clan, so it gets 10k for free just by riding it.
Oof.
And then its own power gives it even more 10k. And it says no Sentinels. Good luck. Oh, crits don't hurt either.
It also gets crit, right?
Yeah.
Also, we can't forget the fact that it is probably the closest card, in my opinion, to a card. Cause like it's a verb in of itself.
Yeah.
It's like the only one that gets a real verb so far.
Yeah.
It's like Daikaiser, like, oh, I got Daikaisered.
Yeah.
It's like it's that, but for this generation. It's like
Yeah.
it's like I got Waterfall, I got Daikaiser. Like before, it was like now it's like, oh well, like. No one hates you for getting Waterfall. No one says like, oh, you're a bad player. It's like, no, it just happened to you.
Yeah.
It's like a small wind came, the Waterfall dropped, it's over. So
I love when people are just like, oh, it's so easy to play around Waterfall. And you're just like, no, that's not how that works, kid.
It's actually really not.
yeah. You can stay at low damage for so long.
Yeah. And then they just ride another Waterfall the next turn.
It's like, oh, this was the first Waterfall. Maybe I'm safe. Oh no, the second Waterfall.
Sometimes they only need just the one.
That's true.
Alright, you think you have enough shield, and then you remember, oh wait, he retires one.
Mhm.
Boof.
Matt, what's the next?
Next up on our list was
In no particular order.
in no particular order, but next up chronologically on our list is Dueling Dragons Zanbaku from Murakumo.
Bankai?
Yeah.
So, Zanbaku, why? Why is he making on this list?
You know why? Because he single-handedly counters one of, if not the best decks in the format by himself. Like, this card, I mean, not to mention the damage he does to every other deck, being in this ride-centric format that we're in. Zanbaku really just stops people in their tracks, and when you get, we were talking not too long ago, when you get behind that tempo, when you get behind the swing of the game like that, it really, you just get ended. Like, I don't play Murakumo. You play Murakumo more than I do.
It's a really good feeling, man.
Yeah.
Like, shutting down. I built the deck for a steal, but I built the deck only because I didn't like OTT.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a deck that the minute I read the card, I was like, I see your lane. I see what you were here for. I see your purpose. And granted, the deck's evolved since then after we got the new stuff, but Zanbaku's just a lot of fun to drop on somebody. Not letting them ride. That's not even including the rest, because that's technically other cards that allow the skill.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to talk about the keep it at rest, which is also bonkers, but we'll talk about not being able to ride, like you said, in a ride-centric format.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everything is about riding a new Vanguard right now.
And it switches a dude out of the deck?
And it's just a dude. That's just good.
And they tossed it in Excel to finally, because I mean, obviously we've got great Excel decks now. We've got Great Nature, Grapplers looking kind of hot in the future. But
Murakumo also an Excel deck.
Exactly, Murakumo kind of put Excel back on the map after we had given up all hope.
Yeah, it actually, you're absolutely right, because Excel at the time, before Murakumo, we were like,
Aqua's, Grapplers,
I was like, Tachi's maybe were the best, like, before Murakumo, and, like, even then we were like, dude, Excel's a flawed gift, and then they were like, well, yeah, but what about when we spice it up a little?
Yeah.
Here's this guy.
Here's Excel Control. Have fun.
No, not the other guy. You have fun.
What about you, Braxton? What do you think about Zanbaku?
The fact that I have to play not Vanguard to play around this card, that's what makes it good. That you have to damage gate yourself so you don't give him too much damage so you just don't get completely blown out of the game.
Yeah, it's true.
Like,
if you rush him and he has the combo, it's over.
Yeah, it's just like, and like, there's only so many decks that you just want to just be like, I'm gonna just blow you out and not care. It's only like literally a handful
Yeah,
that can get away with that. Like, Zanbaku's good.
Absolutely. All right, Braxton, what's next on the list?
Well, I'm actually gonna do Ward take care of this one in chronological order on our list in no particular order.
it is. What is it? Lily of the Valley Musketeer, Cecilia, the best girl for Neo Nectar. The deck that came out, we were like, oh, this is looking pretty hype, pretty hype. Cecilia comes out ×2.
×2.
Because just as I know we haven't been going straight through the effects, but Superior calling 3 units and 10k to the front row for a CB1. That's just good card. That's just straight good card.
For retire one.
Low costed.
Well, for retire one, but that's
No,
so negligible in Neo Nectar.
Yeah.
It's absolutely absurd. You can ride a first ride, still good.
You could put that card with that skill in any Force Clan, even if it did have to retire one actual dude, which in Neo Nectar, you don't really retire an actual dude.
Yeah.
You're a dude you got for free. It still would have been an amazing card. Still probably would have broken this list. But the fact that you don't have to retire an actual dude, like, it can be a token. That's what we're talking about.
Right.
And the native 10k to the entire front row
Stop.
is
And a Force
in a
Clan.
Force Clan.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, take these temporary 3 force markers in the front row,
Yeah.
and then also your force markers.
Not to mention if you're not even playing, the Corolla spinach combo, units that gain power on superior called units setting the board. If you're just playing regular lines, you're going to consistently see, if you dump your force markers on the side, 40 to 50k lines just with that Cecilia skill. You add on those, big boy boosting units on the side, you're going to hit 60s and 70s really consistently just from Cecilia calling those 3 units every single turn.
There was a time where I was concerned about, like, whether or not Force Clan, like, could 3 swings, no matter how big they could get, really be that big of a threat. Cecilia really quenched those fears, because I was like, yeah, 3 lines at 40 and 50, that'll put you where you're trying to go.
It adds up. And it's not like it's inconsistent. You're going to see it every turn. So it's a matter of can you beat them first, really.
Absolutely.
You got to outspeed Neos, absolutely.
Braxton, Cecilia, Come from the opposite of the table, because I play against it a lot because I live with him. You play against a lot because you hang out with us a lot. So, from an opponent perspective, he gave us the player perspective. I'm playing against Cecilia. What makes it again on this list?
Everything words said, but in my voice. Like, like there's nothing more you can say. Like, I'm just sitting on the other side of the board, like, that's 50, that's 60. Why is that 60? Oh, okay, that's why that's 60. And I'm just like, why is the Vanguard
Oh,
the
right, you're a
smallest?
tomato.
It's like, why is the Vanguard the smallest column on this board?
Consistently. Your Vanguard might be 30-40, and they're still going to PG it because you might double crit them, because that's still Vanguard.
You're looking at these cards and you're like, I don't know, man, these 7 cards might not be enough.
And then I'm just
You got,
like,
a PG for that, the 2 heals for the other one.
And that's a real shame.
am I at 5? I'm at 5, maybe. Good thing I got Waterfall.
Alright, now Braxton, the next one.
The next
And
one,
it's his personal boy.
my personal boy, the boy that has saved me, the boy. Peanut butter jelly time, the boy. PBD.
Peanut butter jelly time. It's... Well, you go first, man. You're the shadow player.
Yeah, man. Yo, PBD's a pretty good card. Like, yeah, I gotta retire 3 of my dudes, but then he retires 3 of their dudes.
Yeah.
And it's,
Not to say that we didn't spend some time discussing it, though, because it and Gus are both really good VRs.
the reason why I picked PBD, personally, it's just faster. That's it.
Yeah, definitely. And we were talking about it before, like I was saying to Braxton earlier, it's like, PBD is one of those cards, you look at it hit the board and you're like, okay, here's the game state. I need to perfect guard this. I'm not going to take that extra crit. Cool. But then they sack their 3 dudes and you're like, boy, that's totally right. I forgot. I have to eat my entire board. Unless you're playing Neo Nectar or, some quick, royal clan with their Spirit Calling, you're going to eat half your board, and that sucks.
Real bad.
Really, really sucks.
And then you realize that I wrote the second PBD for the game, and then I just dealt you a damage.
See, that's, to me, what cuts it over Gust as far as this list is concerned.
Yeah.
Gust Blaster, at its... Yes, it can kill you,
It can kill you real good.
but it has to hit to do it, right? It has to kill you to hit. Like, and granted, so does PBD, but at least at the end of the day, PBD is going to put you for 4 to 5, and it doesn't have to do anything. It doesn't have to swing at you to do it.
No.
It just says, here you go, boom, let's play our game.
Bane for 1 is so strong, honestly.
Also-
I think people sleep on damage and
favorite Vanguard mechanic ever. Boy, do I love dealing people damage for no goddamn reason.
Yeah.
Damage inducing is an incredibly powerful mechanic. Probably the only mechanic, completely tangential, but the only mechanic that both, like the entire Asian community raged over was, the ultimate stride. The Dusk.
Dusk.
The fact that you could damage induce someone to kill
Dusk. I don't remember.
Dusk. The one that could kill someone originally, the original Dusk, could kill somebody from 5 to 6.
Nope.
Actually, end the game for CB2, and it's like, that's not okay.
And they changed it. Talk about a community rage filled errata.
No, so that's why I think edges it out is the damage inducing. It's if you've been watching the channel for a while, I'm a guy who will give a card more value if it has options. And Gust is 1 line, and it takes it with 100% gusto. Thanks.
That's all you're getting out of me.
But PBD has options. It isn't just about the crit; it's about the sack 3. Because Gust only sacks. You only have to sack 1 for Gust, right?
Yeah, I sack 2. They sack
Get
1.
one.
And Gus draws me a card.
Yeah, which is good. It gets you a card, but I don't know, the killing 3 on the opponent
It's still relevant.
and the damage induce.
And the 15k, God help you if you don't have the PG.
I mean,
Then it's a real problem.
With both though, Gust and PBD, you have to have the PG.
Yeah.
You have to have the PG in a realistic sense.
Yeah.
Because what if I put the force marker on the PBD? Oh, baby.
We're cooking. That brings us to our last one in no particular order, like Braxton has stated 4 or 5 times now.
Please,
And
God.
certainly not least,
And certainly not least,
School Hunter Leopold.
It won Worlds.
Leopold won Worlds. It deserves, if for any other reason, for that reason.
We can argue about the hamsters, but hamster is what leads up to the boy coming through. And you talk about high rolling, this deck is high rolling. Man, the first night we spent playing this deck, we just sat there with our hands on our head like great nature finally made it, baby.
They live in the dream.
Well, for you, Great Nature's complicated.
Yeah. No, but even still, like, I don't know. There's never been a boss like Leopold, even in the old days.
To be fair, Great Nature now is a lot different than what it was before.
I remember reading the first cards. I was like, "Oh, dude, Light Swarm's about time." Leopold is a card that is good in its own right, and then rewritten over and over, it becomes better. Because it counters decks that would beat an Excel clan. It's like, oh, you blew my whole board? Let me get this new board real quick.
Yeah.
You better hope I don't sack you right now.
Most of the time, you're going to flip that non-trigger unit, and most of the time, you're going to superior call 4 guys just because. And, you know, going back to Cecilia, that's really good. Like, you keep your hand chunky, you thin the deck out, you've got way more triggers in there, and you're going to hit those fronts. And you're playing in a clan with a lot of heavy hitters on Excel circles, and Leopold just keeps on giving.
And Lord help you if they get both triggers.
Okay, well the thing is, I'm gonna be honest though. The second I realized Leopold was an amazing VR and an amazing boss was when I was playing against Matt at one point, and in my back of my head I am praying. I'm like, God, I hope he just gets the 15k in a crit. Like, I hope that's it. Like, I don't want 4 more dudes on the. I don't want 2 more dudes on the board.
Yeah.
I just want the 15k in a crit. I can deal with that. That's just more power. I can guard that. I can
Or
take
potentially
that.
32 crit.
Yeah, right. Like, but
32 in death.
the thing is, like, if I have the PG, I'm always just like, please give me that 15k in a crit.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, 2 more dudes, I'm screwed.
No, it's such a good card. Granted, it does kind of suffer from. No ride, lose the game syndrome. If it's just by itself, you are sitting on a very vanilla Vanguard. But I think typically Great Nature has enough gas to keep itself going on the rewrites to keep Leopold spicy every time.
That's top 5, right? But we got 2 honorable mentions, right?
Yeah, 2.
All right, so you're gonna cover the first one.
All right. First one, just because he was a freaking nuisance in premium. Kind of meh, standard. Death Anchor, no life, bro. And I guess you have to also extend it out. No, we're not going to talk about Assassin. Assassin made it dumb, but Death Anchor got it there.
Death Anchor really sealed the deal.
Yeah, like,
No.
So he gets the honorable mention for the format he wasn't even made for.
Right.
Honestly.
And the other honorable mention goes to Great Dayusha, just for being a really powerful VR.
When it goes off.
And being Raging Form without being Raging. I can't not put Raging Form in a list, and this just happens to not be him.
Yeah.
But it's still him. It's Raging Form without being Raging Form. He gets Twin Drive, and he gives the entire front row 10k. It's like...
And himself 20.
Yeah, and himself 20. So he's Cecilia, that's a re-ride. How can I be mad? Doesn't fully break the list because I still think Cecilia's better. And Waterfall's
You can do it every turn.
I think a lot of these can do it every turn consistently, and Great Dayusha's cost of being 45k can be a tall order at times.
Especially when PvD's eating all your dudes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So
And Cecilia's just being big.
I think Dayusha sits in that same kind of pedestal with Waterfall, and I could swoop out of nowhere and just destroy you. Because, I mean, there's no clan that can argue that dumping a Dayusha on you, getting that 2 extra drive checks.
That's never easy.
They're probably sitting on a Die Dragon that's like 60k at that point. It's a lot to take in.
also the boy that gets the other rear guard that gets like a crit by himself or whatever.
So
God, that card is annoying.
But yeah, so it deserves an honorable mention. But that being said, in the comments down below, tell us what you think is
Your best VR.
Is your best VR? What do you think is the best? Do you think it's one of the ones we mentioned? Do you think it's some other VR?
Do you think we're just wrong?
Do you think it's
Which is
Gust?
okay. This is our opinion of our list in no particular order, chronologically.
Do you think it's Perfect Riser? It's not.
That's the one. I'm sorry. I'm soon to take someone telling me Basskirk's the best VR in the game.
Basskirk gets a crit, man.
At least.
But we digress. Be sure to check out our sponsor as well, the Magic Satchel, for all your Vanguard singles, accessories,
Twin Bladers.
Twin Bladers. Get them.
It's too late. The Twin Blader boat is sailed. It's time to move on. Aquaforce PGs.
All right, we're calling it now. But no, check out Magic Satchel, TCG Player, eBay, Discord as well, and check out our Discord for our Vanguard community, chatting it up, talk about deck lists and stuff. But this has been Team Absolution.
Peace.
Okay, thanks, bye.